smells like yeast.
I mean, it's probably part of it.
It's probably expired.
Could be. Got that a while ago.
2019.
That's not true. Hello.
What?
I know you don't have headphones.
No
on.
headphones.
No headphones today. I forgot mine in my car. And yeah, we have like studio ones. But I like mine.
We're protesting.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
I guess. Yeah. I feel like we're doing more than most protesters actually do.
By not wearing headphones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're protesting headphones, therefore no headphones.
Yeah.
And we actually did something.
Right.
So, welcome. We're back at the We the People podcast studios.
Yeah. Well, somebody wasn't here last week.
Yeah.
Just for this show.
Well, I cut it close for Jose's show there. Listen, I'm a game time decision always.
Yeah.
I still don't have any time. I'm here though.
Yeah. I'm an adult and I have a family and kids.
That's a great impression. Wow, I thought I thought there was a mirror in front of me.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you know how it goes. We were just talking about it a little bit before we got on about how you ever have those days that you're just like I'm not sure there's an adjective for it, but it's just I don't want to say dejected.
Yeah, like I don't know, malaise. Is that right? Or
it's something like incredible indifference.
Yeah,
I'm just like fuck.
Yeah.
Like there's no word for it. It's just, the word is
like it feels like a Monday, but it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Perpetual Monday.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at. It's kind of like
ennui. Is that the word?
It's kind of like if you saw somebody out like having a good time and be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like don't have fun.
Just don't say words at me, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for no particular reason other than just like the state of everything.
Yeah, I even went to bed like earlier last night. Like I'm not tired. Like
no,
it's just.
I think that's why as an adult you stay up late into the night because then the next day when you're feeling this feeling you can just be like, oh, I'm tired, and you can rationalize it to yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get a full night's rest, you're like, God, I still feel like crap.
Right. Oh, maybe I'm just a dick.
Maybe I'm just cynical.
Yeah.
Turns out, you are.
Right.
But that's okay. I mean, there's a lot of things to be cynical about.
Yeah, it turns out the world is a cynical and terrible place.
It sounded like the beginning of a movie trailer that you were starting there.
In a world full of terrible and cynical people.
You mean West Irondequoit?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful. I was going to say, the We the People podcast studios in beautiful West Irondequoit, but I just can't lie to the people like that.
It's lovely out. Look at that. There's barely cloudy.
Yeah. It's perpetually Monday and perpetually gray.
Yeah.
Always.
All the time.
I'm in a state of mourning, though. Tomorrow, for the people that don't know, that don't live in West Irondequoit or East Irondequoit or Webster, the bridge closes in 2 days.
Yes, that's
the connecting bridge between Irondequoit and Webster. And that is it's the saddest April Fool's joke of all time. It's open. I think it's November 1st to April 1st.
Yep.
And now I'm forcibly made to take the Bay Bridge to get into Irondequoit, and it's just
not as good.
No. Especially because I live basically off Lake Road, so
right. Yeah,
I'm so far north of where I'd have to go to where the Bay Bridge is. It's just not.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you should probably just head south straight to 104 and take 104 most of the way.
That's all I do. But yeah,
but still.
I'm 3 miles north of 104. Not that it makes a huge difference, but I like driving along the lake.
Oh, it does when gas is $4.50.
Yes, it does. I've realized that I've driven significantly less since gas has gone up.
Of course, I used to.
Well, no, I guess I didn't try. I haven't been trying to,
Right.
but I guess I'm just not. I looked at my odometer and I've only put like 200 miles on the car in the past month. Like, I'm not driving at all.
I know.
Basically 2 days a week. I'm driving any sort of.
Well, I think $4 a gallon is the limit where people just stop driving. I know a guy who owns a bunch of like those mobile mini marts, and
Right.
he said like he just as soon as gas hits $4 a gallon, you can just see it.
I was saying though a couple of weeks ago, it's amazing how fast I adjusted to the shock of it, the sticker shock of gas at that price. Because when it jumped so rapidly, it was shocking.
Oh, it's
but now I
ridiculous,
looked at it
ridiculous,
and
yeah.
it's kind of stagnated for a couple of weeks. I'm like,
Yep.
oh yeah, 419. That's not bad.
I even saw it go
Whoa.
down. Right. Yeah, that's right. You see it go back down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it was 450 and now it's like 420.
It's the same thing I do with losing weight. I
Yeah,
put on 100 pounds, but I lost 5.
Right. Exactly.
Whatever.
I've been doing that for years.
Yeah. Right. You justify it. You're like, I'm doing good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have had 2, but I only had 1.
Heart attacks?
Yeah. Just whatever is being served.
That's right. So yeah, there's a lot of things to be cynical about, but it's amazing how quick I can just jump on all of a sudden, wow, gas prices are so good now.
Right. Ooh. Yeah,
I mean,
they went up $1.50, but then they went back down like 30.
Right. Yeah.
But
speaking of other things to be cynical about.
Yeah. The Halo show?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's talk about what we've been watching. Both of us watched the Halo show.
Well, we had a third
Paramount.
party with us during our watching.
That's true.
My 4-month-old daughter sat and watched Halo with us.
Yes, and your other daughter just sort of made laps through the room.
That's true. My 2.5-year-old
would occasionally stop like whenever something started to explode.
Yeah. The loud noises caught her eye.
Yeah.
So very let's talk about the thing I liked.
Okay.
It was graphically pretty I don't want to say good because that's not the right word.
Accurate?
Sort of at very specific parts. The specific parts being the plasma weapons that they use.
Yeah.
Just shear people's limbs off and cauterize them at the same time.
I actually did like that.
So that's about the thing that I liked.
Yep.
Everything else
sucked balls.
Was abysmal.
It was so terrible.
So let's go through the list, right?
Okay.
The story arc, bad. Whatever it is, whatever they're trying to do, you can already kind of tell.
It's like the most generic version of like the Last of Us dynamic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, like a young person gets teamed up with an old gruff guy.
The babysitter syndrome.
Yeah. Like there are movies and games and things that have done that dynamic well. I love the God of War reboot. I love the first Last of Us was pretty good. And Hunt for the Wilder People. You ever see that?
Yep, that was a good one.
That's excellent.
But yeah, this where you've got Master Chief who takes the lone survivor of this this outpost that gets attacked by the Covenant.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be set up as it's the Covenant's first time engaging with the humans, or the first time the humans are seeing the Covenant.
See,
apparently,
but also then later in the episode, they called them the Covenant.
Right. Yeah.
And made it seem as though that it wasn't the first time.
At very least, it seems like the UNSC, like the space government, knows about them.
They know about them, but this little planet,
it's a little outpost in the outer
the planet
worlds.
Madrigal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of all the names,
that's why it stuck in my head. I was like, here on the planet Madrigal.
If they'd just burst into a choreographed song, it would have made this better.
Yeah,
that's how bad it was.
Yeah, well, at least then it would have been like, okay, this is so different,
right?
Then you could like divorce it.
Let me go through the list, right? Yep. So it doesn't follow the Halo canon storyline. It's non-canon. essentially, meaning that they've gone off the rails. They didn't follow any existing story arc that Bungie or 343 or Microsoft had set up in any capacity. This is an entirely new thing, essentially just using Halo characters. And you made a point while we were watching it that you said it looks like a really well done fan film.
Yes.
And that's the most accurate criticism of this, because it's not a compliment. Because when you're spending,
no,
it would be great if you saw this as like a YouTube video, like some guy in South Dakota didn't have anything to do and was like, I'm going to make a Halo fan film. This would be very serviceable. There'd still be a lot of issues with it, and people would be willing to forgive it because it was a fan film. You'd be like, wow, what he did there was really cool. When you're I think it's something like $10 to $15 million an episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's like an absurd budget.
And how many set pieces were there? 3?
Yeah. So you had the Madrigal outpost.
Right. And then you had the UNSC inner base.
Yep.
And then you had the ship.
Yeah.
That they're on. And that's the size of this room that we're in, essentially.
Yeah.
So
there was one scene with the prophets.
Oh, yeah, they did. And you're leading me to my next criticism.
Okay.
The fact that they ran so off canon with this. Now they've introduced this human character into the alien species, the Covenant, right?
Yeah. For
what?
Right. It was very
the whole point of the Covenant, a Covenant is a grouping of whatever. But in this case, it's a religious grouping of different species.
Yeah.
And in the Halo canon, each species was indoctrinated into the Covenant at various times. So you had the elites, the Sankhili, right? They were taken in, and then the brutes later on, that kind of supplanted the elites. That was a whole thing, and that's what caused the Civil War. And
that's the plot of Halo 2, isn't it?
Right. And then you've got the grunts who came along, and the hunters. That's a whole backstory. The worms, what are they? The Legolos or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
The jackals, whatever they are.
Right. You've got those, and then you've got the prophet race.
Yep.
Whatever they are. And there's a story to all of them, but the whole point was that the humans weren't in the Covenant.
Yeah.
And that's not it, and they never would be, right? And now you just have a human, and apparently it's because this human, this female character, didn't, wasn't raised by humans, and she was part of a, what is it? The Covenant took over a planet, and she was the only survivor or something like that. So the Covenant raised her. The highest.
Yeah. The prophets, like, specifically are the only ones we've seen interact.
So again, you can lump all this under, this is a Halo show in name only.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, why would you go so far off the rails of what's existing?
So there are quotes from like the showrunner saying he didn't play the games.
Okay. So my thing with that is, you're making the show because of the video games.
Right. That is why, this is why this IP matters.
Right.
People don't care about Halo because of the novels.
No.
Like Fall of Reach or whatever.
Yeah. Though I will say I think there was 3 originally, the Halo novels. They're very good, but they basically follow the plot of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And
now there's a lot more.
To clarify, the series started as games, and the novels are like the novelizations of the game.
Right. And
it's not The Witcher.
You just brought that up. So what I was going to say is, a lot of people are saying, well, look at The Witcher. They deviated in that, and say what you want about the TV show. It's whatever. But The Witcher didn't start as a video game.
No.
The Witcher started as a book. So,
and from what I understand,
and the video game is very different.
The show is more book accurate than game accurate.
That's what I've heard as well. Yeah. And I mean, the game I think is great, but I think the game the show got made because of the game.
100%. Yeah, the game is why that property is known.
And specifically the most recent one, The Witcher 3.
Yes. Yeah.
Which
people
was
liked The Witcher
huge.
2, but Witcher 3 was it's like people like Oblivion, but Skyrim is the
Yeah, people know Skyrim in a pop culture sense.
yes.
Nobody knows if you and if you say Elder Scrolls,
Right.
no.
Right.
Like there's a percentage, sure, but
there's a small group of people who love Morrowind,
right.
but you like that's
But they're almost retroactively popular too because of the popularity that Skyrim brought.
Sure.
So Halo is popular, and really, we talked about this a little bit too. Halo would have been a show that should have been made about 10 years ago.
Yeah, when Halo was under Bungie's
right. Halo 3, Halo Reach era.
Yeah.
You know, and even that was more that was 2007, 2008, 2009. Yeah. But I think 10, 12 years ago would have been the prime time. Now you're coming off the backs of Halo 4, which was a commercial failure in all senses.
Well, I don't know if 4 failed. I think
4
was
okay,
still riding the wave of like 3 and Reach.
Sure, and the install base was huge with the 360.
Right.
So, but it didn't do as well. It sold a lot in the first couple weeks and then fizzled. Whereas Halo 3 sold consistently from like 2007 to 2011. It was a huge game until basically the Xbox One came out.
Yeah.
Around 2010. You know, late 2010, early 2011. But this Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Wars is not moving anything other than that game.
No, people like Halo Wars.
It
Halo
actually
Wars
is
2 is supposed to be excellent.
Great RTS.
Yeah.
But it's not Halo 3. And it's not going to move other IP stuff.
Right.
So, and then Halo 5 was just a disaster.
Halo 5 sucks.
And in fact, you could make the case that maybe the show should have came out before Halo 5 came out. Because the marketing campaign for Halo 5 was the best marketing campaign I've ever seen for any video game ever.
Yeah, no, those commercials were
killer. The commercials, they did a podcast, Hunt the Truth.
Yeah.
If you have a modicum of interest in Halo, do yourself a favor and listen to the Hunt the Truth like audio series.
Okay.
It's a few hours long at most. It's the most riveting thing I've ever listened to that has come from a video game. Okay. Listen to. That's all it is. And like there's a little bit of ARG stuff that you can look at the website, you can look at other stuff. But just to listen to it, I can't remember who the guy there's a male character that you hear his point of view. And he's like, no, he's a character that's in the outer colonies and he like discovers something about Master Chief. Master Chief's gone rogue or something. That's the rumors they're hearing. But then he like finds something out somehow, and the UNSC like come to hunt him down. And it's
Halo 5 handled its narrative so poorly that the cliffhanger ending of Halo 5, where like Cortana goes evil. Spoiler alert for Halo 5. Cortana goes like evil, and it like becomes like they set her up like, oh, she's gonna be the bad guy. That gets resolved off screen before Halo Infinite.
Oh, great.
Like that game starts, and there's like 2 lines of dialogue, like, I took care of her. That's it.
Great.
Cool.
Well, so yeah, and then Halo 5 suffered really from a narrative clusterfuck because they had no idea how to tell the story they wanted to tell. If you, like me, who spent upwards of 30 other additional hours after I played the entire Halo 5 story 3 times.
Yeah.
If you have a day and a half of time that you can devote to looking into the lore, Yeah, you'll understand it. And it's actually really interesting. And there's this whole thing about how Master Chief is basically the same person as the original Didact. And that's
Oh yeah, I
yeah, and
remember
there's
some of
right,
that.
like you can kind of vaguely
Mhm.
remember, but they don't tell any of that in the game,
Yeah.
which is like,
Well, because they like allude
what?
to it, like one of the guilty sparks, like
Yeah,
recognizes
and
them or
that's
something.
why in the first game, uh it's the little alien, the little blue floating dome guy goes, well, you knew that, didn't you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because he recognizes him as the same person,
yeah, yeah.
which I don't know if that was what Bungie intended.
Right.
I'd like to think that they thought that through, that there was something like that, and they were planting the seeds because Bungie's pretty good at that.
Mhm.
Or they're really good at like pulling like strings together. Like
Yeah,
if that had never got resolved, nobody would have thought anything of it. But the fact that it is a lead to something now is like,
yeah.
oh, okay, that's interesting. So, anyways, the whole point of this is to say after Halo 5 came out, you the Halo franchise was at an all-time low. And I think now that Halo Infinite has come out,
Mhm.
which I don't care how good the single player campaign is to Halo Infinite,
Yeah.
the fact that it doesn't have co-op, it didn't have I don't think it
And that's
has
been delayed, by the way.
doesn't have split screen at launch. I don't think it
Yeah, I don't think
has
so.
split screen still. Doesn't have game modes.
I
Uh,
think the game modes have been implemented now in the latest update.
but those are the organs of a Halo game.
Yeah, they still haven't added Forge.
Right.
Um,
Well, like what are you doing?
yeah, and
So
yeah, that apparently the player base has dropped dramatically.
something like 95%.
Yeah.
It went from a quarter million at its
Mhm.
highest point. I was looking on Steam.
Mhm.
Quarter million to like 6,500.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
that's
And
ridiculous.
that means that there's just not content there to play the game.
Yeah,
Whereas you looked at games like Halo 3 that had huge numbers. They had all of these features, what a Halo game is. And now to dial that back, you can't go back. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you can't release it was the same thing with
well,
Halo 4 though. You can't dial you can't take away dual wielding now.
right.
And that's a minor thing, but
I and it's what's crazy to me is that it was supposed to launch a year ago,
hmm,
a year before it did,
right,
a full year. What state was it in
right.
November of 2020 when they were planning to launch it? And to the point that they launched it in November of 2021 and it was still broken,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know. But now you're not going to ride on the back of the popularity of the series genre defining Halo Infinite. That's cuz that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite in for all intents and purposes flopped.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
you can't have a Halo game come out and lose 95% of its player base within the first year of it
Yeah,
being
and
out.
like they talk about it, it's because it's like a live service where they're supposed to be adding stuff and
No,
whatever. But
I'm never going
Halo
into it now.
3 wasn't a live service, game. That the multiplayer was what it was.
Right.
And it kept its player base because the gameplay was so solid.
Right. And it was done
Yeah.
when it came out. Like there's no excuse for it.
You know?
Even though that's the norm now
Yeah.
to make games. But again, all that to say that you're not launching the Halo TV show. There's no Halo craze out there. People aren't going nuts over Halo. Uh
Yeah.
like they were, 12 years ago. It's just not what it is. So you have this show, and I don't know if that's maybe why they thought to redo it like this, but people don't care about this. The people that do, the me's of this world,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, thought this was garbage, the Halo TV show.
I mean, can I just say this brings up something that's been annoying me. I don't know if I brought it up on the show before. The review bots. Because you look at the IMDb score for the show, it's like a 7.5 or something.
No way.
That's what I'm saying. And this isn't the first time I've noticed it like recently. Have you seen the Miss Marvel trailer?
Yeah.
It looks fucking terrible, right?
Yeah.
And I was looking at but the like dislike ratio is like 95% likes to dislikes.
No.
And all the comments are like, wow, this looks really good and original and interesting and cool. And I'm just like, this isn't right. And so
No.
I found the same trailer uploaded to a different thing, like not the official Marvel thing, but to like E or something like that.
Right.
And like the like to dislike ratio is like 50-50.
Right.
And like comments are like, this looks like ass. And I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Like the official Marvel's one is like, oh, everything looks great. And I'm just like, you're not real people.
No.
There's no way.
And I like how they tried to make this TV show for anybody other than the people that would actually want it.
Right.
Like you try to, and you know that they incorporated all of the bullshit woke ideology.
Oh,
with the race swapping and
you know what? I don't even care that much about that.
No, I do.
All right,
I'll get into it.
See, that's fine. I don't know, but these characters, I don't know that it matters.
No, I think it does.
Okay,
I think it does.
Let me tell you what my problem is like specifically the politics, like the way like this girl like there's a scene where the girl, the girl that's been saved or whatever, is having a conversation with like one of the UNSC government representatives. And the UNSC government person is like, listen, like the Covenant are here. They're going to do what to all these planets, what they did to your, village or whatever. Like they're a real threat. Can you make a statement to the people like, hey, let's team up. Let's take care of this alien threat. And the girl like is like, no, you're like she gives some like shitty political thing where it's like I want independence or like blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, like there's an extinction like coming. Like,
in the flip side of that scene was that you're talking about when it's Miranda Keys who they race swapped from I don't know, not a black girl to this, like it's just so shoehorned in.
Yeah.
And
Miranda the diversity quota has to be filled.
Which is bullshit because you've got Miranda Keys who is a huge part. But again, because they just blew the canon story away, like Jacob Keyes dies in Halo 1.
Yeah.
Like he gets infested by the flood and he becomes like one of those, basically becomes the Christ-like figure crucified in the flood capsule.
Yeah.
And he's I can't think of what the actor's name, but he's the black guy now. But they're not black. Like it's so obvious. And it just the Miranda Keys character specifically plays such a vital role throughout Halo 2 and then subsequently Halo 3 that now it just the way this actress just didn't hold it, like has no fire in her at all,
right,
for what that character is.
So I've always held like I don't necessarily care about race swapping if the actress is the actor is the best actor for the role. Whatever, race doesn't really matter. But if you are just filling a quota and get a subpar actor because you gotta fill the quota, well then fuck you.
Well, in the fact my issue is that they're established characters that should play like, so if I saw an actor, you wouldn't make Master Chief's suit pink because how would I know that's Master Chief?
Yeah.
If I'm coming into a show that's based on an existing IP and I see black girl, I didn't know who that was at first. And they had to expose, like the exposition was so heavy to reveal that this was Miranda Keys. It actually took me, she was on screen for 30 seconds before I realized who it was.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. Yeah. I should know who this is. You should make them either, God, I don't know, give them the name badge or something. Sure. If you're going to swap them out unnecessarily. Yeah. But they didn't. And her personality was nothing like it. You know, at least if her personality is not like it, she should at least look like the character that she's portraying. Mm-hmm. Hair was all different. Make her look close enough to what I know as Miranda Keys or as Jacob Keys. Yeah. That I don't have to guess when I'm watching a show that I know a hell of a lot about the source material. Again, I'm so cynical that I don't really give a fuck. I don't care because I'm not going to watch the show. Like I
have canceled my Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Yep.
I don't care to watch. It was so bad. I really was hoping. I'm like, man, you know, like maybe before we watch the episode, maybe it'll come through. Maybe. And even if the first episode's not great, you know, maybe it just won't have enough content, right? Yeah. That's what they usually do. No, this like speed ran through Halo basics. Yeah. And then was just like, oh, and we're doing everything different. They show Master Chief's face, which is a big Halo no-no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the number one, that's the cardinal sin.
Yeah.
You can't show his face. Do you see the meme where they said that, you know, they fixed Master Chief's face reveal and he takes off his helmet? It's just another helmet.
Yeah. Did I see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because I sent it to you.
That's right.
Oh my God. Did I see that?
Oh, yeah. See, I know about culture.
I'm
still laughing. It's because I was still laughing. Because that's what it should be. But this show is such an abysmal failure on every front. The Master Chief actor, Pablo Schreider, something like that. I don't know. Paulo, whatever. Sounds exactly like the Mandalorian.
I was gonna say, are you talking about the Mandalorian? Because that guy's Pedro
Pascal. Yeah. It's uncanny, and you're not the only one that I've seen bring that up either.
The fact that he sounds just like him.
Just like him. Like to the fact that it's jarring.
Yeah.
And you made the point, right, that this looks like Paramount watching The Mandalorian saying, we have space guys.
We have a helmeted space guy.
We have space guys.
Yeah.
We could do this.
Wait.
People like Halo, right?
Hey, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that thing we have in the vault? Angel? No, that's not it. Fucking Halo.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's just this show. It was funny because I had looked up some random Halo merchandise about a year ago. You know, Halo toys or Halo whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, they're pretty cheap. Halo Infinite hadn't come out yet. Mm-hmm. But there was a little bit of excitement. So like I had watched some of the prices of stuff start to go up. And I don't own any of it. I never got into it. But it was like, oh, maybe I want a Master Chief for my 2-year-old to play with. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
You know, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it gender neutral.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't give a fuck. She has all boy toys. I don't care. That's what she likes to play with. But anyways, before Halo Infinite came out and after, there was a little bit of a influx of people buying Halo stuff.
Yeah.
And I keep an eye on it. Leading up to this, there was a little bit of an influx into the TV show. Shit's like bottomed out.
I believe it.
Already.
Yeah.
People don't care. People are already like, yeah, done with it.
Yeah.
So ideally you'd make a show like this and have some sort of merchandising rights. And you would think that they would make some sort of money off of that with this, right? Yeah. You have to. I would imagine. I don't know. What are they going to do with this?
Well, like,
because they came out with all the Halo toys, right? Before Halo Infinite even came out, because I assume that they'd had all the toys made because the game was supposed to come out in 2020. Yeah. And so they started releasing them, 7, 8, 9 months ahead. With what killed me was they had the experience bonus codes for Halo Infinite in the toys,
Mhm.
even though the game wasn't coming out for another like 8 months.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
I think
What a botched
think-
thing all around.
I think Paramount keeps their shows like going. Like they've already renewed Halo for season 2.
Yeah, I know.
I
don't care.
but like I think this is a Paramount thing where they like they keep a show going because they're like, oh, we don't want to show that we're fucking failing. I think that's what they did with Star Trek Discovery.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, remember Star Trek Discovery?
So a little sidebar.
Yeah.
When you brought that up, I have no idea what the Star Trek. I don't care about Star Trek. I understand,
Yeah. I like Star
TNG,
Trek.
if you will, but I don't care about Star Trek. But I scroll through Paramount Plus and I see all of these like cartoon Star Treks.
Oh yeah, Lower Decks, and they have another one too.
What? Why? What? I don't understand. I don't get it, I guess, in any capacity.
Yeah, it's because it's
Why? Who are you making these shows?
the craziest thing about the Star Trek stuff is that it's all being handled by this one fucking showrunner, Alex Kurtzman, who is the fucking worst.
Oh.
I don't know how he got control of Star Trek, because like his previous credits include he wrote Transformers 2, Cowboys versus Aliens.
Oh boy.
Fucking just terrible stuff. And I don't the Mummy reboot with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He directed that.
I saw that in theaters. I was the one person.
Yeah, and it's fucking terrible, right?
Yeah, it was. I actually, from like a stupid movie standpoint, I will say, my initial reaction was like, it was entertaining, I guess.
That's what Alex Kurtzman does. That's the Alex Kurtzman staple of don't think about it. If you think about it at all, it will fall apart.
Yeah. And I remember very specifically, I had something else major going on. I was like studying for finals or doing something. So I just needed to like not think. And yeah, that was spot on.
Yeah.
But anyways, to wrap up Halo, fucking disaster. I won't watch the rest of it. That's not okay.
Unless I hear like, oh my goodness, what a turnaround on this fucking Halo show.
No, because you've got the parties that are out there that like the woke bullshit parties.
Oh, I would have to hear it from like specific people.
Right. But that's why you won't hear that or why they won't. Well, I assume the episodes are done, but knowing Halo, they're still making them right now.
Yeah. For this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the season or episode 2 must have come out today, right? Or is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
I do it on Thursday.
Fucking weird.
Show sucks. I'm so disappointed. I've never like hated that I like an IP more.
Yeah. You know, let's segue out of this. Done with Halo. Fucking sucks.
Fucking sucks.
Speaking of a show that came out today, though.
What's going on my screen right now?
Oh, that's just. They couldn't see that. Only you could see that.
I saw it.
But Moon Knight. Have you heard of Moon Knight? It's a Marvel character.
I just went through all the video games of Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight.
Yeah, no. Do you know Moon Knight? He's like he wears like all white.
Yeah. I saw the preview for it a while ago.
Yeah, that show came out the
Did
first
it?
episode today.
Yeah,
it was good. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
I like that character
better than meh.
Yes,
Slightly above fine.
I will say, the plot, I feel like I've seen it before.
Probably.
Like specifically, it's the plot of the like Moon Knight's character is that he has like split personalities. Like and like one of them is like this ancient Egyptian god. It's really weird, and that's why I like it. Is because like his powers and like his whole fucking thing is so fucking insane. And that's like part of I don't know. I find that character appealing.
Sure. He's the one that's all like different hues of white clothes.
Yeah.
Like he's got a little bit of gray.
Yeah.
I like that costume. Reminds me of the 1999, I think, Power Rangers Ninja.
Yeah.
Tommy's costume.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very Moon Knight. But like I will say, like this episode, there was lots of like cool like Egyptian stuff. It reminded me of like the Good Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Like you got the big dogs, like those like Egyptian like dog guys with like those guards. You know the ones I'm talking about, where
exactly
like the headdresses and stuff. Yeah. And I like that stuff. So it worked for me. But the plot of like this, the first episode starts with this guy Steve, who thinks he just sleepwalks. Like he doesn't realize he has a split like personality.
Yeah.
But over the course of a couple days, like he has like this crazy adventure. He wakes up and he thinks it was just a dream, but then it realizes it wasn't, because this other personality took over and all that. And I feel like I've seen that specific plot before, of like someone not realize like losing a couple days and thinking it was just a dream, but then it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, hold that up to the camera.
There's the I don't know what it was, 1990 something, white Power Ranger from the movie. That's Moon Knight.
That does look a lot like Moon
to
Knight.
a T.
That's
really funny. I'm gonna do a side by side later.
Okay. But do you know what I mean about that plot?
Yes.
Okay.
Generic.
Yeah, but I cannot think of a specific thing that has done that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's because it's just derivative of everything else that's similar to it.
Yes, but it's done well.
Sure.
So I liked it.
And that's fine. It's forgivable if it's because you can be one of the two things. You can be original and meh, or you can be pretty derivative and great.
Yeah. Like this plot done as well as this plot can be done.
Sure.
And so I recommend Moon Knight so far.
Great.
The first episode, I enjoyed it.
Starring Tommy Oliver.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, Tommy Oliver's the White Power Ranger.
Yeah, yeah.
And not even the White Power Ranger in real life. That's his name in the show.
But
Jason David Frank.
I like Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
He's good. He was
Poe,
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
That's a great movie.
That is a great movie.
Do you see that? That's why they brought him back. Not specifically because of Ex Machina, but in Star Wars, right? So Poe was supposed to die in The Force Awakens.
Right.
And he was sick of his character dying. And he had actually reached out to J.J. Abrams and was like, hey, listen, I want to do this, but I don't want my character to die. This is a real thing. And JJ was like, okay, we'll keep you around. We wrote you in.
Yeah, that's why he just shows up at the end, like, I'm still alive.
Yeah, woo!
I lost my jacket.
Yeah, but because they crash on the planet, right? And then you don't see him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
the crash must have thrown my jacket off. He has like a line like that. It's really fucking dumb.
He's dumb in that whole movie, and it's unfortunate because I like you said, Oscar Isaac's all right, but man, that character's stupid.
Yeah, like, did you ever see Annihilation? That was another one he's in. It's really good.
He looks he's an actor that looks different in a lot of his movies.
Yeah,
because it took me a while to realize that it was him in Ex Machina.
Yeah, because he's bald and has a full beard.
Right. His hair's reversed.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Moon Knight, he is clean shaven with full head of hair.
And good for him. I
like that he
getting out of
even
Star
in
Wars.
Moon Knight doesn't always look great. Like specifically, he never had like this character is like never gets any sleep because this other personality takes over. So he always looks
Poe.
like haggard.
Yeah. Poe comes out at night.
Yeah. Mark is his other name.
Jesus. What's his real name though?
Steve.
Fuck it out.
And they make a point of it like a few times. Everyone keeps calling him by the wrong name. Like it's like a running thing. And like Scott, he's like Steve.
See, that's exposition done well.
Yeah.
When you can just like put a little quip in there about like stupid things, like characters calling them the wrong names or something.
It's good. It's a
way for your audience to learn the characters' names.
Yes. I recommend watch the first episode of Moon Knight. Let me know what you
On
think.
Disney Plus.
Yes.
All right.
Solid.
All right, I'm watching it now.
No. Let's see what else. Your turn. What have you been?
So I
watching?
actually did get to start playing Elden Ring.
Yes.
You brought me over the copy of it. I am now, as of today, I think about 9 hours into playing it.
Oh, okay.
And these 9 hours have come at the bequest of my family.
What? What do you mean?
I think I'm using that word right.
I'm sure you are, but put it into context for me.
Basically, I fucking just looked up bequest to make sure I was using that right.
Yeah.
And the definition is the action of bequeathing something. Now I'm gonna look up what bequeathing means.
That's like giving. Like,
right.
These 9 hours were given to you by your family.
Basically.
Okay. That's what I thought you meant, but I wasn't sure how that works.
That's what I meant. But you ever do that where you look something up and then you're like, I gotta go down the rabbit hole of dictionary.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Only because like I watched my 2 daughters today when my wife was at work, so I was home with them. And I got like 2 hours where both of my daughters were sleeping. This never happened. And you know how many things I've got to do around the house?
Oh, 100%.
You know what I did?
Played some fucking Elden Ring.
I played Elden Ring for 2
Hell
hours.
Yeah.
And like I had them both in eyesight. They were both in the room with me, but I had my
Oh, you got to be careful with that opening menu of Elden Ring.
My volume is on like 4.
Okay, but do you know what I'm talking about? Where
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, oh.
Yeah, all of a sudden out of nowhere, even at 4, I hear it peak.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
that opening theme is
it's good.
Killer.
It's good. So 9 hours into Elden Ring, let me say the first handful of hours.
Yeah.
I really was thinking that this isn't a game for me.
Okay.
I've played all the Souls.
Were you
games.
trying to beat the Tree Sentinel? You can't beat the Tree Sentinel.
No, I'm very cautious when I play it. I've learned that maybe cautious is the right approach to From Software games.
Yeah.
But no, I like the that first the tutorial boss. I like didn't even know how to move my hands on the controller. I'm like,
oh yeah, they open up with it. Like, do you kill anything before the tutorial boss?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But I'm like trying to move I'm like, how do I dodge again? What the fuck? Like,
how do I game?
It was really tough, and I'm like playing. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck to go. I get into the main open world, and I'm like, and then I got to like the first village, and I got my horse, but I'm still like, I picked the astrologer, so I've got magic right now.
That was my build too.
Oh, weird. I'm regretting it fully.
Oh, really? I say that is 100% the best class.
I mean, you can eventually spec out into anything, but I'm not gonna lie, I was really down on it. Like, fuck, I can only play like 45 minutes at a time before I'm like, this sucks.
Sure.
I just don't want to. I don't want to do this. It was like I told to that kid at Walgreens there. Listen, man, I have 2 kids. I can't be. I don't have the capacity to do this.
I get it. If I wasn't able to like sit down with this for like a couple hours at a time, I don't know that I would have made it through.
So eventually, like those horseback guys were just beating the shit out of me.
Have you got your horse yet?
Oh yeah, no, okay. I've got my horse.
Did you set it to a shortcut? That's
key. And I still can't figure out because you got to hold triangle
and then at the D-pad,
yeah. And I've tried all the D-pad directions. I can't figure out I have to physically take my finger and like take my hand off the controller and push it with my index finger.
Oh my goodness.
I can't like bring my thumb while it doesn't work.
Wow.
So I've settled on, I think I'm down.
That was
triangle
mine,
down.
Yeah. It's the best one.
And I get it. You know, get good.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know where the fuck to go. I don't know what the fuck to do.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm realizing now, and this is where the game changed for me. I can just ride my horse past everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you how I think this is how I eventually started playing it, and this is how I think you should play it. Look up a boss map that will just show you where the bosses are.
Oh, so
on the map.
let me tell you, after about 9 hours, I've almost explored the entire map. And I have not
know
fought
you
it.
haven't, but go on.
No, I have. It's all visible.
Kaled?
Well, okay, except for the very, very end game.
Okay.
But like, so you can,
Liurnia Lake?
yeah, I'm already
Altus Plateau?
I'm already there. I've already gotten through the fucking round table hold, and I'm through now into like you can because you can get from the third church there.
Uh-huh.
You can they teleport you, and then there's a treasure chest that teleports you.
I don't
And then
think you realize how big the map
I'm
is.
sure there's more, but like there's a huge. I've now spanned basically from where I started the first step all the way to the right, as
okay.
far as I can go.
In like the red swamp area?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's stuff
so
north.
much. There's so much more north.
But I'm done with the Weeping Peninsula, but I haven't fought a single boss. Not even a field boss.
So have you even found like a dungeon?
Oh, I found them all.
Like the little dungeons? Like
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just like, eh, nope.
That's what I would recommend doing. I like doing each dungeon is where I think the game's bread and butter is.
Yeah, I guess. So I'm in like the dragon dungeon thing. I don't know what they're called.
That does not narrow anything down.
So my other thing too, this game was promoted heavily with George R.R. Martin being the storyboard person for it.
Yeah.
I think the story blows ass.
Oh, I don't know. It's very typical FromSoft to me. It's all so fucking vague and like.
Well,
I said, you know what? Like the difference is like with George R.R. Martin is like the verbiage. Like they'll be like,
maybe that's what it is.
Like it'll be like, you know, you who play at being a lord, like lords, and like it just feels very.
But I don't understand. Like everything's just an offshoot of what other From Software games have done. You know, you're not ashen, you're tarnished.
Oh yeah. Yeah, runes instead of
runes
souls,
instead of souls,
sign of grace instead of bonfires. Like it's all very,
and it's incantations instead of pyromancy. You know, it's all the same thing, which is fine. Again, I'm a huge fan of the From Software series and the games, so more of it is not a bad thing. And I guess this is just Dark Souls 4.
You know what I like about it story wise is. And this is kind of more late game, but like they start incorporating some of like the madness stuff from like Bloodborne.
I've seen that, yeah.
And
so I've killed a bunch of rats.
Yeah,
with the madness, yeah,
yeah. And so like that's fun.
The Great Flame, and that's
yeah.
It all does feel like a bit of an improvement on Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, it feels like a culmination of all the FromSoft. Like the ability to like jump and stuff is very Sekiro and
sure. I don't know that I love the open world. I want more linear. I want a Dark Souls 1 type of open world versus there's too much just open space.
I see what you're saying, and I actually agree with you. I'm not a big open world guy in general.
Sure.
But I wonder if that's just because of where we are, like in terms of like exploration doesn't like I'm like I don't have time for exploration.
Oh, see, that's all I've been doing.
Yeah,
coming from playing like Minecraft, that was the only game I was playing at all. That's all I do. I just run around the map. So that's when the game shifted for me, though. Was I can just go off in other areas.
Yeah.
Oh. And also, I can just ride past anything. Literally everything.
Oh, 100%.
You don't have to fight anything. All of a sudden, this boss gauge came up on my screen. You know, there's a field boss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah,
I'm not going to stop for this guy. What's he going to do? Chase me?
I mean, he might.
He
you know,
did.
so
He
some of
did,
them, like
and
that,
he killed
was
me.
it the Knights Cavalry
No, it was the
Tree Sentinel? Agil of the Lake,
no, the
Deathbird.
no, but I did find him. I
Yep.
found all of these guys, and the guy that shoots the big bolts at you sucks too.
Yep.
No, I can't. The putrid
Oh,
avatar. Yeah,
yeah, the tree avatars.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
he
hang out by
chased he
by-
chased me, and I swear I was like, "Oh, I'm good." I was like 300 meters past where I
Yeah.
saw him. Out of nowhere, bam!
I love it
Dead.
because he's such a big fat fuck.
Yeah, I didn't hear him. I was facing the other direction. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm good." I
Yeah, yeah.
stopped. I like pulled up my map. All of a sudden, my map like disappeared. I'm like, "What?" And then I died.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you can't pull up your map in combat.
Right? Like
Yeah.
that was
Mhm.
strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it and it like flashed his boss meter at the very bottom of the screen. I was like, "Yep, yeah, dead now." But so I guess I like it. It has hooked me like all the FromSoft games do.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll see if I finish it or not.
Yeah.
I've already like looked at the wiki of how I'm gonna plan my build of like what sorceries I need to get and where they are, and
I mean, I can tell you there are some that are so broken, and I love it.
that's what I've heard. I
I-
also see that there's 10 to 15 ways to farm runes.
Oh yeah. I found this one area where enemies drop 2,000 runes per kill, and the enemies are sleeping. And there's 20 of them, and you can
yeah.
you can just sneak and backstab one at a time.
Yeah.
So I get 40,000 runes every time I go
You're
through that
just
little
like, yeah.
corridor.
Yeah. I haven't done that yet. I'm only like level 20 something.
Yeah.
But I will.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the place that I probably shouldn't be, that in the dragon whatever thing.
Mhm.
Where all the dragons are flying around. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah, that is in Caelid, I think.
And yeah, I like went into this tower that's at the top of the peak there. And there's this little bat creature that's like right inside, hanging from the thing, and he comes out. I'm like, oh, I fought these guys before. No, this one like just one shots
Yeah.
me immediately. I'm like,
Oh, was it inside like a house, like a
Yeah,
building?
you, like,
Yeah,
go
I
up
know
the stairs.
exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm
there
like,
are
oh.
so many bats in that place.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this guy's easy. And I took my sword out. It did like the smallest damage. I'm like,
I know the exact place. And I also loved coming back 100 levels higher.
Yeah, just being
And
like,
just wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
I had this one spell that like was like a gravity like thing, so it just pulled them all in. And then I had this explosion one,
oh yeah.
and it killed them all in one. And I was like, ha ha ha, this is the best.
But like, I don't know. Now that I've explored for quite a bit and like figured out where the merchants are and stuff and like what I need to do,
Mhm.
what I'll say, and this is kind of a bizarre complaint of this game. What really bothers me, I think, the most is that there's not a Future Press book for it.
No, I know.
Because-
they came out with a Horizon one at the same time.
Right.
That this game came out.
Well, and I don't even see Prima or Brady or any of the publishers doing a book for this.
Which is surprising.
And maybe Future Press will come out with one, a
It's
year from
entirely
now,
possible.
or the Game of the Year will come out for one.
Right.
And that would be cool, and I'd be really excited about that. But what took because I got the original Dark Souls book that Future Press came out with, which was the first book that Future Press did that was they had done great books before then.
Yeah.
They had done Kingdoms of Amalur and Deus Ex.
Soul Calibur 5.
I don't know if that was pre or post that. Dark Souls.
You're right.
But they definitely done Reckoning.
Mhm.
And that book was great. But then when they did Dark Souls, that was the first book that really put them on the map. And really it really took off. And this is now the only I guess you could say Dark Souls 3 they didn't do, or Demon Souls.
Oh yeah, but Dark Souls 3 eventually they did the trilogy.
Right.
One,
so I guess Demon Souls is the only book, and they didn't do one for the remaster, which I thought was strange too.
Yeah, it seems like that would have been the time.
So maybe there was something there, and maybe there's a falling out. But what took my love of Dark Souls from just like, oh, I really like this game to like, oh my gosh, I really, really like this game was being able to like take this really, really well done book and like read about stuff while I wasn't playing the game, just flip through the book. I'm like, oh, cool, that's neat. They don't have that. And that's why I think I'm not gonna like Elden Ring. There's something about the internet, I guess. I can use the internet and that's fine. And it gives me the same information. I can look at the wiki. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I like having a physical book in front of me.
sure.
Um, and it's a lot easier to look. My daughter loves looking at the books. We were looking at the Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yeah.
the Game of the Year book. I just got that not too long ago.
Me too.
And I don't even have the game.
Yeah.
But we were looking through the
that book's
pictures of
killer.
it together. She really liked looking through the book with me. And
It's got robot dinosaurs and all sorts of fun stuff.
so
Why not?
Future Press is coming out with the Forbidden West book. I think it ships on May
I just got the update.
early May. Yeah, I had forgot that I had ordered it.
Me too. That's fun.
I might pick up Forbidden West and play that when I get the book, and wherever I'm at in Elden Ring at that point might just be the end of where I get to.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. I like being able to play the game. And actually, the little bit of Zero Dawn that I played over at your house the other day was I think I need more hand holding.
Oh, well, yeah, that is
For the amount of time that I'm able to commit to it.
Yeah.
Like I don't just need vague waypoints.
and that's my biggest complaint about Elden Ring is specifically quests. There is no fucking way I would have completed any of the quests without looking up how to do that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I kind of just meandered around for about 2 hours. Like, okay,
yeah,
I'm here. What am I? I have like 400 of those little red fruit things. Cause I'm like, well, I guess I'll just get more.
You gotta get Erdleaf. That lets you play co-op.
Yeah, but I don't want to play co-op.
Oh, okay.
I don't, and I don't know how anything works. And I get it. I get it's from software, and I get it. I get it. I've played all the other games too.
Yeah.
This feels increasingly like vague.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because it's different, but I don't know. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I like it. But it's not without I honestly, this is the first From game that I had the gut feeling of like, I don't know if I want to play this.
Yeah. I think a part of it, I'm sure it's just like where you are.
It's also
like
generic as fuck. Maybe it changes later.
I was gonna say I don't know if I agree with that. Like because they put their spin on like everything.
Sure. And maybe that's
like in the it's like because Dark Souls is just knights and
yeah, but like
and
maybe that's why it feels generic.
Yeah.
But like Sekiro, Bloodborne,
yeah,
come on. Like those, at least stylistically, are so much more appealing.
I think Bloodborne is their best.
I agree.
Like from a style standpoint.
I've already thought that multiple times of like, maybe I'll just play Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is so fucking good.
Yeah.
I keep waiting. I think there's going to be a PS5 version at some point. There has to be because that original PS4 version still runs at like 1080, 30 frames per second, and like not good.
No.
Well,
that was a fairly early.
Yeah.
That was what made me get a PS4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still have my PS4 like Bloodborne faceplate.
Yep.
On my system.
Yeah.
My Batman system.
I just something about Elden Ring and how just like off in its own thing it is weird. I also like, I don't know, maybe I'm waiting for the Vadi videos to come out on YouTube to tell me about the lore.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because I do think there is lore galore.
There is. And I've seen a little bit of it. And I've seen him talk about it. I've seen some other YouTubers talk about it.
I don't have the patience to read
not finding it. No.
I read every item description so that I know why Radon is, who he is or whatever. Like, whatever. Or the two fingers. Have you seen the two fingers hanging out in the round table hold?
Yep. Yeah. I want to know about the blacksmith, why he's in the chains, even.
Yeah.
Like
Did you find the spirit tuning girl and do that thing?
No,
so you
but
can
I know
upgrade your spirits.
whatever her name is, Regina,
I don't remember.
whatever the fuck her name is. No, but I know about her. I gotta go to the shack.
Yeah.
Find her. It kind of feels like a chore.
I will say there's some of the like all right, you got to give me the basic tools
Yeah.
of your game. Don't make this missable.
Right.
This thing that you need to beat the game.
Well, I didn't know what golden seeds did until like I looked.
Oh yeah, to like upgrade your flasks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had 6 of them before I realized I could do anything with them. Like, oh shit, I
Have you
should do
found
this.
like sacred tears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm +4 and have like 7 flasks.
Yeah.
After having 4 and no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dumb.
Anyway,
Yeah, but
moving on. I've been playing a different Souls-like. Team Ninja came out with a game. Team Ninja, the guys behind Neo and Ninja Gaiden, and like, did you ever play Neo NIOH?
no, but I've always wanted to.
Neo 2 in particular is excellent. Neo 1 is too hard by half, I think, where like it doesn't feel. Neo 2, like really the only major change they do is they added this parry move.
Okay.
And it just makes the combat way like it just clicks with me.
Can I talk about Elden Ring for one more second?
Yes, go ahead.
I also don't understand how some of the combat works. I like stagger people all the time, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There's an animation that I just did. How the fuck did I do that? That happens more than I've ever had happen.
Oh, well, they have like this, like you have a meter that will break your poise.
No. This is like I'm like R1 in.
And then they have like,
and then they stagger, and then all of a sudden
it's because they have a meter, but you can't see it.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So I can't like work towards that. I don't know if I need to be like more aggressive or.
But if you are more aggressive, that happens quicker.
Yeah,
but they don't explain that.
No, at all.
Right.
So
but that is the thing, and there are weapons that do more, and you can like figure it out. There's a whole system there.
And in this dragon place, I was like fighting the demi-human people, and like the one guy I killed in like on my last little bit of stamina, it weapon animationed him and like front stabbed him.
Yeah.
The next guy, swear to God, did the same thing,
and
I ran out of stamina, and he one-shotted me.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole thing. Like I found one spell that seems to like really build that meter up. That was my drag. Anytime I fought a dragon, I would do this one. It's a rock sling, I think is what it's called. And you just throw 3 giant rocks at people, and it like immediately every enemy gets like that stagger thing.
I don't know. But anyway, so you've been playing Ninja Gaiden 2.
Yes. Well, so they were given the Final Fantasy license.
What?
And so they made a Final Fantasy game that plays like Neo. It plays like a Souls game.
Weird.
Where you have a stamina meter, you have experience and stuff, and like if you die, then you gotta get your experience. Like that sort of those sort of systems.
Yeah.
Souls like mechanics. And I will say I love the moment-to-moment gameplay for this thing.
Yeah.
By the way, the title of the game is maybe the worst title I've ever heard of anything. It's called Final Fantasy Origin Stranger of Paradise. Whatever the fuck that means. It's definitely one of those like Japanese like
salad
games.
Stranger of Paradise.
Yeah.
It did translate well.
Right. I'm sure it probably sounds awesome in Japanese.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like it's a conversational thing.
Yeah. But in English, like it just does not hold up.
Stranger or what?
But anyway, the moment-to-moment gameplay, great. Like the combat system is really good. It has a job system, like some Final Fantasy games that you can be like a thief or a mage or whatever.
like a retail salesperson.
What? Oh, the job. Yes,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Sorry, I was in. Anyway,
a delivery boy.
Yes. But anyway, so you can switch between all these different things and use different weapons, and it's really good.
Yeah.
But the story is so fucking. I can't tell if it's taking itself seriously or
Huh.
not. And I have a scene that I would like you to watch.
Okay. I'm ready.
From the game. And just a little
protest over.
A little bit of setup here. This character is explaining she's just went through this huge monologue of why this was the first boss in the game and why she was like being evil. And she goes into this long thing about like, if I became the face of evil and was defeated, then it would give the world hope or whatever. It's, this whole da 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 thing.
All right.
And this is the rest of the cutscene.
I'm ready.
Hoping some band of heroes would defeat me and thus bring an end to this empty dream.
Bullshit.
Right, hold on. Just pulled out his phone, started blasting some Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit, whatever the fuck that was.
This is definitely Linkin Park.
Yeah. And then they leave. And that's how like cutscenes end.
By them pulling their phones out and
that one guy. That one guy is like the most edgy, like early 2000s, like Shadow the Hedgehog motherfucker. And I can't tell whether I love him or hate him because he's so like over the top and is like, bullshit. And then like the next boss fight, like he starts to give a monologue like, I will destroy it. And he's just like, shut the fuck up. And he punches the boss in the face. And I'm just like, yeah, so dumb.
I'm about it.
Yeah. And so, I think I love it, but it's really dumb. And it never like breaks, like the kid, it never laughs at itself.
That's good. You needed to take itself seriously.
But at the same time, it's so fucking goofy. It's like campy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
Like the opening scene is that guy standing in a field listening to My Way by Frank Sinatra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it just in like a field of wheat. And that's the opening cuts. And it's just like, okay.
Love the song.
Yeah, it was great. But then like it cuts to him like talking to a king. He's like, I don't care about your problems.
I mean, it's maybe he's just embodying me.
Yeah.
Cynical and just
because I kind of love that. Like anytime anybody starts a monologue, he's just like, shut the fuck up. Bullshit. And he whips out his phone and starts blasting Limp Bizkit. That rap rock garbage.
Right. What's the game?
It's called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Is he the Stranger of Paradise?
So he's, spoiler alert, I think everybody figured out the twist of the game.
Is he a bad guy?
He's the main bad guy from the original Final Fantasy game.
What?
He's Garland.
What?
And so, like that, spoiler alert, that's where the story's heading, I guess. But it's, I don't know. I think I love it.
Are you that character?
Yeah, that's who you play as.
Jack Garland.
Jack Garland, yeah.
But he's the bad guy. You're the bad guy?
He's the bad guy from the original Final Fantasy. In this game, he's a good guy.
But
Garland is the main villain from the original Final Fantasy. And he's the final boss from Final Fantasy 1 on the NES.
And that's him.
Yes.
So you're the bad guy. But in this, you're good.
Yes. This is his origin story. Something happens and he is no longer a good guy.
I mean, to be fair, it tells you in the title, it's Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Yeah. So that's what this like.
But hasn't there been other games that are Final Fantasy Origins?
That is the compilation of Final Fantasy 1 and 2.
Oh my God.
On the PS1.
So this is the origin of Final Fantasy Origins.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
Oh, the naming convention is fucking garbage.
I mean,
but I don't know. When he whipped out his phone and said bullshit, I was just like,
did he have phones in
that was another thing. He's wearing, if you look in his ears, he's wearing like Samsung ear pods. but it's like a fantasy world.
Maybe he travels back in time.
That's another thing. They never say that though. Because I'm wondering that because no one else seems to have a phone. Although his buddies, let me just pull up the clip here and
Hoping some band of
look what
heroes
his buddies are
empty dream.
wearing.
Hoping
Damn.
Yeah, those are your teammates there. Those two guys. And you can play co-op, by the way. Like you can someone else can be that guy, one of those two guys. You can have up to 3 people. Which is kind of cool. But like what the fuck is and like they're so out of place because everyone else is wearing like traditional, like they look like they belong in Elden Ring. They're all like very traditional knight garbs and shit.
Yeah.
And then you got these 3 motherfuckers.
The deep V.
Yeah, wearing the deep V. One guy's got a flannel tied around his waist. And it's like they look like they came out of the 90s.
God damn.
And it's so fucking weird.
It did not get great reviews.
No, it got very middling reviews. But
yeah, about a 70.
If you read any of them, they all pretty much say like the combat's great, but the story is garbage. And I don't know if the story is garbage or if it's just going for this weird campy thing that is not playing for people.
If you can tolerate Jack Garland, and that's a big ask, the excellently crafted combat is worth a look.
See, so
Says
I love the
idea.
moment-to-moment gameplay is great. Like when you're just in a level, you can have 2 jobs equipped at the same time and like switch between them.
Huh.
So I usually have like some sort of magic job and some sort of like melee thing, and it all works.
It says it's an alternate universe prequel.
Is it an alternate universe?
That's what it says.
Okay. I have not seen anything that says that.
Storyline follows a set of characters brought into the fantasy world to face the malevolent chaos.
Oh, that's another thing. Like, if you watch the trailer, they say, we're going to kill chaos like 6 times.
Wow.
And it's very, very dumb sounding.
It sounds dumb.
But you know what? Gameplay is king.
It is 100%.
Yeah.
Well, because basically, I don't care how great the story is. I'm still skipping that damn cutscene.
Well, what I like is Jack skips it for you.
Great.
You know, as soon as anybody starts getting into like long exposition, he's like, get to the fucking point.
Yeah.
He says that a couple times. I'm like,
that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he's already the bad guy.
So I never skip cutscenes because
you're like, it'll be
like-
over soon enough.
right. Anytime they start getting long-winded, he's like, no. What's the takeaway? And they're like, oh, the crystal is over here.
Great.
And he's like, cool. And then he just leaves.
God.
And I'm like,
I need more of that.
yeah,
I don't have time.
I'm about it. I'm about it. So I say, you know what? I so far I'm like 3 missions in. I like Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it.
I don't think anybody is, which is a shame because I actually do like it. But
Why Stranger of Paradise?
it's the naming is dumb.
At least explain your name.
Yeah.
Is the paradise the field of wheat that he's listening to Frank Sinatra in?
I don't know. But
I don't know. Or it's the mind of 12-year-old Japanese girls everywhere. Or maybe that's Korea. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
It is what it is.
But anyway, I think that's enough for today.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Chris Rock.
Oh yeah,
Smith.
that happened. I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a
I don't
fuck.
care about celebrities.
Right.
Which is probably not the podcast.
You know, everybody was like, oh man, this is gonna be the end of Will Smith.
Well, he's a fucking dillhole.
But first off, no, it's not. I just saw a trailer for the new Mel Gibson movie. in theaters, I saw a trailer with Mel Gibson, and I was like, okay.
Damn.
Like Will Smith's gonna get canceled. Yeah, all right. You know.
I just don't I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care about celebrity
at all.
No.
I don't give a fuck.
Like, put out a good movie and I'll care about you.
Yeah.
Sort of.
You know who I like? Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Just got a solid body of work. He's a working director, working actor. He's like, this looks good. I'm gonna make this, and then he does, and it's usually pretty good.
There's a character called the Mind Flayer in Stranger of Paradise.
Mind Flayer, like flare as in like flare,
no,
or flare as in like
Flayer.
Okay,
like
that sounds kind of that's a badass name. The Mind Flayer.
The character design looks balls to the wall, like really cool.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like the enemies, like it's kind of cool seeing some of like the classic Final Fantasy enemies in like a 3D action.
It's kind of cool
game.
I was just gonna shut my close the screen on my phone, and I looked down and I saw that that.
Yeah,
maybe I will play this game because it's so stupid.
Well, I'll let you borrow it. After I'm done with it, you give me back Elden Ring. I'll give you Stranger of Paradise, and we'll just have like a rotating thing. After that, give me back Stranger of Paradise. I'll give you Horizon, and we'll just, whatever.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking potentially sensitive. This is potentially sensitive, according to Twitter.
Hold that up for the camera.
It's the Mind Flayer.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of about it.
It's
I
really
think that
cool.
might be one of the bosses that Jack punches in the face.
He's got like a see-through skull, and he's got like octopus tentacles coming out of his things. He's got he's got like the Pirates of the Caribbean. What's the guy? Davy Jones. Davy Jones beard.
I will say one of my favorite things about the game, like design wise, like of the look, is the game has this thing where it's kind of like what you were talking about with the Elden Ring, where there was like stamina for enemies, except you can see the bar in Stranger of Paradise. And if you get down their stamina before you get down their health bar, you can do this finisher move where they explode. Oh yeah. Like Jack just punches them in the heart and they explode. And it's kind of awesome every time. I almost always try to get I find the enemy's weakness so I can see their fucking explode animation. I
need more of that.
Yeah, I'm about it. Anyway, this has been your weekly dose of PCP. Go to the We the People Podcast Network and buy a t-shirt.
Don't.
Okay. Bye. I didn't have the thing loaded.
Thank you. Oh.